So best new artist is OutKast? Like, they read it like that. Yeah. So we were angry, like, we were dungeon whole crew there, man. Like, and I was just angry, man.
So currently it's the West Coast time right now, y'all, in hip-hop, but I want to take y'all back to when OutKast got on stage after being booed, accepting the New Artist Source Award. They got on stage and said 6 words that changed hip-hop forever.
Them closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and nobody want to hear, but it's like this, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
They said the South got something to say. And oh boy, did they. Because for the next 20-some-odd years, they were running the game, boy. After that, you had Ludacris, you had TI, you had a slew of South artists that just came up out of nowhere. And they're popping up, and it all stems from that one statement. The South got something to say. Now, Andre got on stage and basically, after being booed, he said, I'm tired of the closed-mindedness in people. He said, I'm tired of all the closed-mindedness in people. That was a horrible accent. And then he said that the South got something to say, and man, that was like the South's national anthem. Because before that, any South artist was looked at as copying New York. Any artist from the South, New Yorkers, basically, it was on there. We birthed this sound. The sound came from us, you know, so we got the sound, you know, y'all are copying the sound. And New York is very guarded of hip hop at the time. And which really stems from during the East Coast, West Coast beef. And this is when people weren't even looking at the South. It was like, oh, you know, the West Coast artists got some new upcoming artists, and New York is telling it to them. But then, like, the South is sitting there like, y'all ain't even seeing us. So Andre 3000 got on stage, and he was clapping, looking at people. You know, basically like, I'm here, you know. And he's doing it in a way that was almost of a bravado and arrogance about him, which I loved. That is a moment in hip-hop right there.
94, 95, I don't
got booed.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about that? Do you remember that moment?
I totally remember it. It was not planned. It looked brave, but I was nervous as a mother. I was just angry, man, because, like, we're in New York, and we love New York. We grew up on all New York music, man, and when they announced I think the award was Best New Artist or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think Salt-N-Pepa and somebody else opened the envelope. So Best New Artist is OutKast? Like, they read it like that. Yeah. So we were angry, like, we were dungeon whole crew there, man. Like, and I was just angry, man. Like, and I just felt like, I don't know, it just came out. And I just said it.
There. And I think people underestimated what was going to happen after that, because, man, after that, the South really came up and stood on their own too, like separated from the New York sound. There was no New York sound or seemingly New York influence in it. You know, they had their own sound, which is awesome because it was awesome to see, you know. I mean, but I will say that the whole game changed after that, you know. And when you think about those 3 sections of sounds, they're very prominent in hip-hop. I'm from Detroit, and so we have our own sound. It's definitely New York-based, but there is a lot of mixture in our sound because we got like the Doughboy Cash Out type of sound, and then we got the Eminem and Royce type sound, and then you have the weird, insane clown posse type sound, and you got your Kid Rocks, and you know you got Detroit has a lot of different sounds birthed into it from its influences. So you know, I definitely love what we have going on. Although it seems like we're always separate or second fiddle, you know, until Eminem came out. Really, people didn't treat Detroit sound very seriously. So I love that when an artist comes out and just puts on for their area, and it's happened over and over and over again, you know. And we didn't know about Toronto rap until Drake came out, you know. So there's a lot of there's a lot of benefit to an artist breaking through and representing their area. You know what I'm saying? So I love it. OutKast is definitely legendary. It's, you know, probably in my number one duo groups, you know, of all time. You know, there are a lot of them. They're in my top, you know, they're in my top duos for sure. OutKast really is an insane group. That Stankonia, one of my favorite albums of all time. You really can't go wrong with any song on there. Every song is a professional single type release. You know what I'm saying? But this thing goes in waves, y'all, and right now we on the West Coast wave, so that's what it is. Let me know what y'all think about the video. Deuces.